Greetings, you're here with Thais Sherelle, and I'm the author of Between the Pages, Where Trials Become Triumph. And this is the story of a woman that I've come to know very well. Her name is Joyce McDonald. She is an HIV/AIDS activist from Brooklyn. Phenomenal woman, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to share her life. So I want to give you an excerpt from the book, and I'm going to read from the chapter The Skin I'm In. Okay, here we go. Mother, why when we take a bath, we get clean and Joyce stays dirty? My younger siblings yelled across the room as I exited the bathroom. Dirty? I knew I was the darkest of all the children in the family, but I never thought it was dirt. Maybe it was. I rushed back into the bathroom and peered at myself in the mirror. I grabbed the washcloth I had recently left hanging over the tub to dry and pressed it to my face. With all the strength I could find, I dragged the cloth up and back down my skin. I would get this dirt off me if it killed me. After 10 minutes of scrubbing my face, nothing changed about the color of my skin. I looked around the bathroom to see if there was something that would help my predicament. I looked in the cabinet under the sink and there it was, cleansing powder. I sprinkled some on my hand and began to wipe it all over my face. I waited. 1 minute passed, 2 minutes passed. After 3 minutes, my face became sore and I had to wash the cleansing powder off. Surely this did the trick. I looked in the mirror to see if I would look different. I didn't. My skin was still dark and my skin was painfully sore. Tears filled my eyes as it became clear. It was not dirt that made me dark. But if my siblings thought I was dirty, wouldn't others? The more I thought about it, the sadder I became. This must be why my kindergarten teacher made me stand at the back of the line and sit in the back of the classroom. She thought I was dirty. How could I help her understand that the darkness of my skin was not dirt? I had the washcloth and cleansing powder to prove it. I tried raising my hand once, but she never looked my way. She just called on the children that sat in the front. I was invisible, and there was no escape. That evening, voices in the darkness called me, plagued me. Was I crazy? Black girl. Dirty girl. The voices were so loud that I didn't know if it was a nightmare, a dream, or spirits in my room. Whatever it was, I wasn't going to sleep in the dark anymore. If Mother turned the light off, I waited for her to leave and turned it back on. Eventually, Daddy realized I was turning the light back on. Suspecting something was wrong, he sat down on the side of my bed one night. What's wrong, Joyce? He asked as he sat next to my bed. Nothing, I lied. What are you afraid of? He continued to inquire. At first, I didn't want to tell him about the voices in the dark, but eventually I confided in him. Don't listen to them, he said. You are my black princess. Daddy was my hero. I was so glad that I told him about the taunting. From then on, he would remind me every night that I was his black princess. This encouraged me because Daddy was the most handsome man in the whole world. Knowing that I was his black princess meant that the voices in the darkness no longer mattered. I did not have to be afraid. That was the voice of Joyce McDonald in kindergarten. Imagine that. Imagine that. A kindergarten student feeling that something was so wrong with her that she would look for cleansing powder, anything to escape what was plaguing her. Well, maybe that's some of you out there. Maybe you've experienced some trauma in your childhood. Maybe you've experienced trauma in your adulthood. Maybe it came from people in school. Or maybe like Joyce, your family even questioned who you are and why you are. Well, I want you to get a copy of this book. And if you go on inspired101.com or on the Facebook page, which is facebook.com inspired101, you can see that we will be giving away free Kindle editions of this book, Between the Pages. That's right, free, 2 days only. There are print available. You can order the print on Amazon.com, but for 2 days only, coming up this Saturday through Tuesday, you can get the Kindle edition and read it for yourself. And then come back to me, because we're going to talk about this. I'm going to teach you from this book, because there's many of you out there that are struggling. You're still struggling with some things that happened to you when you were younger. And you know what? It has a deep root on you that you can't go forward. Well, guess what? Your girl here, Thais, is going to help you. I have some news for you, and I have some advice for you. So we're going to read this book together, and together we're going to break free. Why? Because between the pages, there's a place where trials can become triumph.